I noticed it the first time she paused before answering a simple question. Not a long pause, just long enough to feel deliberate. Her eyes shifted away for a moment, then she smiled and gave me a smaller version of the truth. Nothing false, just edited. I remember standing there afterward, holding that moment, wondering why it felt heavier than it should have. I didn't ask about it. I told myself I was imagining things. Parents do that sometimes, see meaning where there is none. Still, something settled in me that day. A quiet awareness, a sense that something had changed between us, even though neither of us had named it. What followed wasn't a confrontation or an argument. It was silence, not the loud kind, the kind that blends into the furniture. The kind you step around because you're not sure what it's made of. I used to believe I understood my role clearly. I knew who I was supposed to be. I grew up with a simple picture of fatherhood. You provide, you protect, you guide. You don't complain. You don't overshare. You show up. You fix what can be fixed. You teach your children how to stand on their own feet so the world doesn't knock them down too hard. And I did that, or at least I tried to. I worked. I showed up when it mattered. I kept my promises. I believed consistency was love. I believed stability was affection spoken in a language deeper than words. I thought if I stayed steady, if I didn't waver, my daughter would always know where to find me. I was proud of how I raised her. Still am. She grew into someone thoughtful, capable, strong in ways that don't need to be announced. I look at her now and see evidence that I did something right. That's what makes this so confusing. The moment I realized I wasn't part of her inner world anymore didn't arrive with drama. It came quietly, disguised as an ordinary conversation. She was telling me about a decision she'd already made. Not asking, not testing the idea out loud, just informing me. Her voice was calm, polite, confident. And in that instant, I understood I was hearing the end of the story, not the beginning. I nodded. I said the appropriate words. I even meant them, but something inside me shifted. I felt proud of her certainty, and strangely removed from it. Like a man watching a train leave a station he used to work at. I didn't say anything. Fathers like me aren't trained to speak that kind of confusion out loud. After that, I started noticing patterns I hadn't wanted to see before. Conversations that stayed on the surface. Updates instead of confessions. Shorter phone calls. Less eye contact when we sat across from each other. The warmth was still there. I don't want to deny that, but it felt redistributed. Less concentrated, spread thin over careful words. Family gatherings felt different too. Not empty, just quieter inside me. I'd sit at the table and listen, laugh when expected, but feel like I was slightly out of step with the rhythm. Present, but not essential to the music. There was no physical distance. We were still in each other's lives. Still hugged goodbye. Still said, "I love you." That's what made the loss harder to explain. How do you mourn something that hasn't officially ended? I started turning inward, asking questions I didn't know how to answer. Did I push too hard when she was younger, mistaking preparation for pressure? Did I stay silent too long, believing restraint was respect? When does guidance become control, and who decides when that line has been crossed?
I replayed moments from years ago, trying to see them through her eyes. Advice I gave with good intentions. Rules I enforced without explanation. Times I chose authority over curiosity because that's what I thought fathers were supposed to do. I don't think I was cruel. But I might have been distant in ways I didn't recognize at the time. I believed love was something you demonstrated, not discussed. Now I wonder if that left too much unsaid. The world she grew up into isn't the one I prepared her for. Not really. Independence looks different now. Children don't define strength the same way we did. They want space to decide who they are without carrying the weight of our expectations, even the kind ones. I don't blame her for that. I admire it, actually. I just wasn't ready for how quietly it would move me to the edges. There's a particular kind of grief that comes with realizing your child no longer needs you in the way they once did, not because you failed, but because you succeeded. It's a proud grief. A restrained one. You don't talk about it because it sounds selfish if you do. So you hold it. You learn to listen more than you speak. You learn to offer support without direction. You learn how to love without being central. I'm still learning. I don't know if this distance is permanent or just a season. I don't know if there was a moment I could have handled differently that would have changed anything. Maybe this is simply the cost of raising someone strong enough to walk ahead of you. I don't have answers. Only awareness. And a quiet hope that presence can still mean something, even when guidance no longer does. If you're a parent listening to this, sitting with your own unspoken questions, I won't tell you what to do. I'll only ask, gently, without accusation, something I'm still asking myself. At what point did love ask us to step back, and did we know how to do that without losing each other?